Hi everyone, welcome along to the channel. Today we get to look at the new Cobra Darkspeed drivers, the entire collection, this being the LS head. A little new addition there with a rear weight compared to the previous models where there was just the two front weights. And this is the X model, the standard model with that little bit of blue accenting. Forward and back weight as you'd expect from the previous models of Cobra drivers. And then of course we've got the Max version as well, rear weight and a small weight in the heel for a more draw biased club. Beautiful looking clubs, lovely carbon on the bottom are there and a beautiful carbon crown seeping through on the top. Obviously very maxed out, blacked out look. A little bit of shiny accenting on the Max and the X head there, maybe just to make it look a fraction smaller at address. They look stunning. Let's find out a little bit more about them and let's hit some balls, shall we? Obviously the LS is a slightly smaller front to back on the head. Down at address, it's a really sexy looking club, but they all are as well. I'm not offended by looking down at the X, and I'm not offended by looking down at the Max either. The Max does look a little bit longer from front to back to me. So hot face is still here. It does look very fractionally different to last year's hot face, just from how it looks. They've obviously done some tweaks with it. We've still got the power shell, the power bridge as well to help increase ball speed on those lower strikes on the face. The face on, so I've got the standard model of the Aerojet. If I just grab that. If I look at them together, the club looks really, the new version looks slightly more curved, slightly more sort of egg-shaped, whereas the front line, or the top line, on the Aerojet looks flatter. So they've obviously looked at some different aerodynamics this year, which could be quite interesting to see if we get some more ball speed. Yeah, also flatter on the bottom. It's almost like a squashed face on the Aerojet, whereas on the Darkspeed, the same model, the X version, standard one, we've got sort of almost a more rounded bottom and top. I guess what we'll do now is we'll try each one of them, see what the differences are in numbers, dispersion, feel, sound, and we'll use the same shaft, and then I'll compare this year's standard model to the Aerojet from last year as well. See if there's much difference. Yeah, let's go, let's do it. Okay, so we'll start off with the Max head. It's a 10.5 degree head set standard with a stiff Tour AD shaft. So just behind the ball, yeah, it does look a little bit longer in the head, like I said, when you set it down. It doesn't toe in or anything. It looks quite nice. I like the look of it down at the ball. Let's hit one away. A little bit left that. I mean, I'm guessing with this club, I'm probably going to see a few go left because it is designed with that in mind for the person who hits a little bit on the right. Oops, lost my balance. That was a very sweet strike, that one. Folks, if you've not subscribed to the channel, please just hit the subscribe button. It doesn't cost you anything, but it helps me to build the channel up. And you'll know when I release my next video, because we're going to do an on-course test between the Aerojet and the Darkspeed. So subscribe and you'll see the video. Nice. Feels lovely. Lovely. Exactly the same. That's right on the line, that. Feels nice, sounds nice. Like really, really happy with the club. I could easily play this and be more than happy. Definitely forgiving. I've hit a couple of bad ones there and it's still got the distance and ball speed. Impressive. So this is the standard model. This is the same model, or the modern version of the model I use. Yeah, it doesn't really look dissimilar, to be honest. Maybe it doesn't look quite as elongated as the Max at the back of the head there. It does feel different actually down at the ball. It kind of looks more compact on the front of the head. Let's see how we do with this. Again, 10.5, standard setting. A little bit left with that one. Not a great strike. Be nice to hit a couple of half decent ones. Bit high on the face, that one. Taking the numbers though, these are good, carrying those 250 marks. I like to see a little bit of a fade, so I like to aim up the left. So the ones missing right, I'm happier with than missing left. That's pured. That was a good hit. 159 ball speed. Yeah, I'll be really happy with that shot. That'll be up the left on the fairway. Okie dokie, so the LS model. Yeah, this looks really different. Much more compact head. It's amazing the difference when you put them down at the ball. When you look at them in your hands, I don't know that much difference. Putting it down at the ball here, this definitely sits more open as well. Again, I've got this set at 10.5, 10.5 even, if I can talk properly. Not striking it my best today, so it's not a bad day to be testing these out. Oh, that is nuked. Wow. 161 ball speed. That is the furthest carry I've had. That was nuked. Launch. 11.9 launch. See, I'd need a bit more launch than that really. The spin on that, 2398. Now that is a spin number I'm not used to seeing. Normally somewhere around 26, 27, 28. Wow, that is right. Yeah, and that one is well left. And that one is well right. There's a pattern forming here. Struggling to keep this one in play. Good numbers with it. When I hit that first one, it was amazing. But yeah, definitely aimed at your better player. There you go. See, that's just glorious. That's just stunning. But I've hit 2 good ones out of 5 shots. That's 269 yards of carry, 163 ball speed. This one is the nicest feel, definitely. Feels the best. Oh, we started to get it now. We started to get it now. So, dispersion with the LS model. That is some big left and right movements there, boys and girls. There was a couple of corkers in that. Max version. Well, look at that. It's pretty tight. I mean, there's nothing right there. Most of them were going left. That would indicate it definitely helps with those people who slice it a little bit. So that's the max aimed at that, aimed at the more forgiving, the higher handicapper. LS obviously is aimed at the far better player. Let's look at the X. The X was pretty wild as well. Yeah, I mean the max head's probably the best option for me. I'll be honest, there was a couple of just really poor shots in that one though. But even so, yeah, let's look at the numbers. Okay, so the max, the X and the LS. So carry numbers as you would expect. The max is slightly less. The X sits there at the 250. These are average numbers. And the LS is a couple of yards a little bit further. Roll wise, total, we've got, again, the LS is slightly further. The X is right in the middle and the max is slightly shorter. Let's look at ball speeds now. So again, ball speed, in exactly the same way, slightly faster throughout the set, with the max being the slowest, X in the middle, and the LS at the top, and ball speeds obviously match up with that. And spin rates, yeah, so the max is the heaviest spinning. There was a couple of bad shots with the X, so I think that's why the spin went up a little bit. But the LS is definitely lower spinning, you can clearly see that there. The smash factor was all pretty much of the same, so, you know, launch-wise, all coming out probably a little bit too low for me. A little bit more would be great. 13 to 14 degrees. Let's hit a couple with the Aerojet that I game, which is the standard model, and compare it to the X of this year. I think you get used to clubs as well, so I would expect to hit this better than I hit the X, just being that slight bit different. There's a toey one to start. Nuked. Absolutely bombed it. Absolutely bombed it. I hit 10 shots with the Aerojet, the standard Aerojet, and honestly I didn't hit a bad one. I think if you look at the total there, my average is 258 yards of carry, so I'm very happy with. My average total was 280, which is I'm being ecstatic with. There's some couple of big ones in there as well. 267 carry, 289 total. Yeah, really, there's a couple of 260 carries. Swing speed was actually only 105.5 average. It's actually swinging a little bit slower. Ball speed was 157. Happy with that again. My spin numbers were 2566 on average. Again, pretty much where I want it. And the smash. And the smash at 1.49. Again, awesome. I think the big difference here is my launch angle. My launch angle was at 15 degrees, which is kind of where I want it to be. Hitting the best with my current driver, 258, purely because I think I'm used to it. I'm used to how to hit it. I like the weight of it. There's all lots of different factors involved, but look, it actually comes out second best. And if we look at swing speeds, yeah, it came in about the same as the current one. It was slightly quicker maybe, but my striking was very slightly better. My spin numbers was very slightly better. I mean, nothing in it really. And my smash factor was slightly better. My launch was a lot better. So that was, I think, the crucial thing in it for me. And just to show you the dispersion, this is what I'm used to seeing. I aim up the left, doesn't really go left of that. There's a fractionally left of the line. And then it gives me room for those ones that I drift out to the right a little bit. Just two that were bad on this far right side, and everything else pretty straight. I mean, I've got to be honest, I really am enjoying the Aerojet driver, and I've really got used to it. So I think in summary for me, the three models do exactly what they say they're going to do. You've got the more forgiving model that's going to hit you more fairways. You've got the standard model for the sort of, you know, mid to lower handicap player, and then the LS model, which is going to give you that bit of extra distance, lower spin, but you're going to have dispersion if you're not hitting the middle of the face, you know. So I mean, I like the standard model of the Aerojet, and I think when I compared the two models, I think there is a difference. I think the newer model is lovely, and if I had a chance to get used to it rather than just throw it in a bay and hit a few shots, I think I'd hit it better. I think that's proved by the Aerojet, because I've had that for a little while now and I've really got used to it. I know how to hit it, I know where to hit it, and yeah, I've grown into that club. And I think I would with the current one. There was a very fractional difference in ball speed, in club head speed really. Is there much difference between the new model and the old Aerojet? Probably not, but then how much difference can you do in 1 year? In terms of look, I take the Darkspeed all day long. I think it looks fantastic. I love it, looks great behind the ball. But for me, for now, I'll stick with my Aerojet because I'm hitting it well and it's going where I want it to go. Whether I want a few extra yards, yes, I would love a few extra yards, but then I've got to get used to a new club. You always see it when the tour pros, especially like Rory, when Rory McIlroy changed drivers into the Stealth and things, he struggled for a while. You know, he always is a history with Rory. He changes to a new driver and you've got to get used to it. I think that's always the case, and if I play with that one for a little while, I think I'll get used to it, and it might just pip the Aerojet. But I'll stick with the Aerojet for now. Great clubs, love the feel, love the sound. It's got a lovely crack to it, and they do feel good. Yeah, I think I'll leave it there. Look, you make your decision. Sounds like the price point's going to come out the same as the Aerojet did, about £429. So much lower in cost than what you'd call the big boys, Callaway, Titleist, etc. But for me, I love the Cobra drivers. I think they're great. I don't think they're any less forgiving than anything else. I don't think they're any like massively lower than anything else in distance. For me, it's about hitting the fairway. The Aerojet's doing that at the moment, so I'm not going to change it. I'm sure a month down the line, when I'm not hitting the fairways, I might try that again. That's just me. Folks, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do. It costs you nothing, helps me grow the channel, and yeah, so please just hit subscribe.